right, my friends, J.R. Dukes with you. Appreciate everybody joining me today. Welcome to all my free-minded friends. As always, appreciate you joining me. What a great day, huh? The day after. Let me a second. Let me make sure everything's working the way it should work, that y'all can hear me. If you have any questions, obviously put them in the comments, and I'll drop a link in the chat. So if you'd like to join today's chat, you're welcome to do that. What a fantastic day. Do we have a bunch to talk about today? Let me pop this into the chat real quick. So if you would like to join today's conversation, feel free to do so. And hello to American Nana. Thank you for being here. If you're new to the channel, please come on in and introduce yourself into the chat. We'd love to say hello and get to know you and know who you are and all the other good stuff there. So let me just click and make sure everything's working the way it should work. All right. Hello to everyone on YouTube and hello to everyone on X and our friend on Twitch. Welcome. Amen. A prayer answered with President Donald Trump being elected. And folks, if you haven't heard, this is not just a victory. This is clearly what we call a mandate. Now, they use that word a lot, but this is truly a mandate. Now, yesterday, I predicted about 312 electoral votes, and it looks like that's what he's going to get. I don't know if that included Nevada. It looks like he's going to win Nevada, so he may have 6 more electoral votes above what I even predicted. But we'll see when the final totals come out. And, of course, the Republicans have taken charge of the Senate, which is fantastic for President Donald Trump, because now he'll be able to more easily pass his agenda, and specifically he'll be able to elect more conservative judges to the court and, of course, to the U.S. Supreme Court. There are rumors out there that folks such as Clarence Thomas and a couple of the other individuals there are ready to retire, perhaps. And generally, they try to wait to let's just say, a favorable administration comes in so they can retire and have their legacy cemented by a conservative being replaced with a conservative. That type of thing is what they generally look for. It doesn't always work out like that, but that's generally what they look for when they get ready to retire. But we'll have to see how that all plays out. And I'm a betting man. It looks like that the Republicans are going to be able to keep the House. If I'm being fully honest and completely honest with you, it's probably a good thing, at least for 2 years, that the Republicans are in charge. But generally, the country works when there is some type of divided government, just to keep one party from really taking the country too far. But things have been messed up and are in such bad shape right now. And I mean, people are hurting with the economy and this lawfare nonsense that's going on. And if we get time, we're going to get into it today about the New York Attorney General and her blabbering mouth and her nastiness and inhumanity coming out of her mouth, or her abuse of her office, her abuse of doing what the people put her there to do, to be a fair administrator of law. And this woman, this Letitia James, she is nothing like that, my friends, nothing whatsoever. I mean, this woman is just pure evil in my personal opinion. I hope the voters of New York vote her out of office whenever she comes up for re-election. But I mean, these people really corrupt the United States. You, as a prosecutor, we have roughly 2,300 prosecutors, or people that can effectively bring charges in the United States against an individual. And this is a power that our country has generally left it up to the discretion. You may have heard it referred to as prosecutorial discretion, and that's what they're supposed to utilize when they're looking to charge someone. You might remember Kamala Harris at some press conference, but I think it was back in 2010 or 2012, saying, "Oh, with the stroke of my pen, I can just go ahead and ruin people's lives or incarcerate them." And she was going after people for truancy, parents, because she wanted more money in the state coffers, because the federal government gives money to the schools based on how many people actually attend, but they have to attend for them to be there. Hence, you had Kamala Harris ruining people's lives for that very reason, which is absolutely unconscionable, unacceptable. But praise God, thankfully, we now have a new day coming, a new morning in America, if you will, and that is President Donald Trump elect. I've also been getting several questions in today, just people sending me an email. And effectively what they're asking is, what's going to happen with President Trump's cases, these charges that are against him right now? Well, I got good news for you, ladies and gentlemen. nothing's going to happen with these charges. One way or the other, these charges are history. I don't care what any of the talking heads out there are saying. You could not have a de facto federal official, President-elect Donald Trump, before a state judge. We have three separate and distinct equal branches of government. And even though President Donald Trump elect is president-elect, he still is a federal official. And there is no way in the world the Supreme Court of the United States is going to allow a state court judge to pass any type of sentence on Donald Trump. It's just not going to happen. Also, as a caveat, when you hear folks saying, oh, he's a convicted felon, remember, what they're talking about is, of course, the lawfare, this bogus cases of dead misdemeanors resurrected in the so-called hush money scheme. Effectively, it's election misconduct in the election. He miscategorized certain expenses for this particular election. But my point is this: he is a federal official now, and these cases are going to go away. It's just really that simple. The case pertaining to Jack Smith it's been dead. He just keeps trying to stir the pot because, let's face it, he wants to be legitimate in his eyes. He wants to make a name for himself. He wants to become famous, whatever. Put your own label on it. But I can assure you those cases are dead. There's just no way they're going to allow those cases to go forward. And of course, with our favorite sweet Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade of Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County fame, that case has always been in serious trouble, and I have pronounced it dead a long time ago, and now it is really dead. It's just not going to go anywhere. So fantastic news all the way around. I don't think really any of us saw this level of victory for President Donald Trump. I mean, he is obviously poised in a very strong and very good position. And I think as of the last count, he's ahead in the popular vote of approximately 5 million votes, which is fantastic, especially for a Republican president. That has not happened, I don't believe, since 2004 with George W. Bush when he won his second term in office. So kind of think about that. That's just really amazing. And there's so many mistakes that Kamala Harris made. I think one of the biggest mistakes is they put in a person that is effectively a communist. At a minimum, she's a socialist. I mean, let's just be straight up and honest about it. We're all adults here. We can have a straight conversation about these facts. Nobody wants the United States to become a socialist type of country. I don't want that. You don't want that. We want a meritocracy. We want what we have now, where your work, your efforts, if you choose to apply them, can give you a better life. You can move up the class system, so to speak. And that's what we always have had. And that's pray to God that that's what we always will have, instead of some type of socialist government. So if you agree or disagree with me, put them in the comments here so that I can get to the comments as soon as I can. Again, I appreciate everybody being here. I'm assuming everybody can hear me. It looks like everything's working the way it should work. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. It helps pushes the message out of this channel, and it also helps it reach a wider and larger audience. So let's go ahead and get into some of the fun. We actually got some fun stuff today because the liberals are freaking out, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, wait till you take a look at some of the stuff we're going to look at together. We're going to get on the X platform and have a little bit of fun to start off with. I got some Pacific videos that I went ahead and earmarked for us to take a look at. These people are going absolutely crazy. They are not happy. It's almost unbelievable, some of these videos. But anyway, let's go through a few of them and we'll talk about them as we go through them. But these are real videos that I found on X. Let's take a peek at it together. Obviously, these are what you'd call reaction videos of these individuals losing their minds. We may call it the woke going nuts, the woke going crazy, whatever you want to call it. Enjoy. Let's take a look at it together.
How did we get here? How did we get here? What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now?
All I can say is, how fucking dare you?
If you voted for that man, if you...
I apologize for any profane words you may hear on here. Again, we're all adults here, but just at the same time, I try to avoid those if I could, but you may hear an occasional word like that. But these people are obviously not happy about President Donald Trump elect.
Voted for anybody other than Kamala, and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
Senate race. It's not going to happen. Go, Kamala.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
How the fuck is this still happening? All I've ever known politically is hatred.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
I'm sorry to all my friends who are Trump supporters. But y'all don't understand how scared of this man I am.
If this guy does end up winning again, all of the people who voted for him will be like happy and they'll just be celebrating. And everyone else, everyone who feels threatened by him is fucking scared. Like we're
The happy, excited people, she must be talking about somebody like me, because I can promise you I've had a smile on my face all day.
scared for our lives. We're scared for our friends.
How dare you put this man into office for another 4 years, knowing damn well what it means for our country, what it means for us as a...
Yeah, it means prosperity. It means that our country is going to have lower food costs, cheaper gasoline, but I digress.
To know that there is that much ignorance and that much hate in this country, it's so terrifying. It's so terrifying.
How the fuck are we back in this same situation again? Who the fuck is voting for him? Genuinely.
Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies.
Goodness. Oh, she's a sweetheart, ain't she? You can tell her
Live
parents
with
did a
that
good job
decision.
raising her.
Let it make you uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm uncomfortable,
Fuck
sweetheart.
you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. These people are crazy. They are definitely a little perturbed. I wonder, folks, exactly who raised these young people like this. I mean, I get it. You can raise your children a particular way, and I've always tried to encourage my children to think for themselves and make their own decisions, kind of like I do on this program. Listen to a variety of opinions, seek out the information yourself, and make your own decision about what you believe and what you value in life. But these kids, they're so young and they're just so out there. What in the world is going on? If you haven't seen this too, this is really hilarious. You got this clip of right when the tide was turning and it was clear that Kamala Harris was in serious trouble. Wait till you see the reaction of this guy on CNN. It's pretty funny.
So you asked, are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything.
Did you guys hear that? Holy smokes. It wasn't showing nothing. She's not performing well anywhere.
The east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
So you asked, are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming.
That's just hilarious. His reaction, literally nothing. That's been talked about all over the internet and stuff. Yeah, and these people are definitely American, and I agree with you. These people are clearly mental unstable. I think that's a very kind way to put it. So here we go with Jen Psaki. She used to work, I believe, for the Obama White House, having a meltdown and hate of Elon Musk. Another funny video.
As a direct,
we'll take a quick peek.
I think this is a huge part of the story that it's hard to even digest fully at this moment. But you have Elon Musk, who owns Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it these days, X, who is a disinformation propagandist and now could potentially have a direct line to the Oval Office. I think this.
One of the things that I have been talking about, and we talked about yesterday on this channel, is the fact that, and this should scare each and every one of us big time, is the fact that the Democrat Party, folks, is seriously laying the groundwork to go after all of our free speech rights. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. They want to put a stop to us having an opinion. That's the reason why, in my opinion, Elon Musk has really went in heavily and invested and supported President-elect Donald Trump, because he knew he was on the woke chopping block, if you know what I'm saying. You hear everybody on that side talking about, hey, we need to put a stop to this disinformation or this misinformation. That's their new buzz phrase. You know how, like, if you have issues with the climate change agenda, they'll say you're a climate change denier, you are whatever, a COVID denier or vaccine denier, whatever it is they want to talk about. You're a denier. Oh, I know what it is. The election denier. You're an election denier. They use these labels, these buzz phrases, to make you think you're stupid, to label you as stupid, and to effectively tell other people that, hey, you better not come up with an opinion and say it publicly, because if you do, you're going to face what Donald Trump faced. And we just all need to make sure that we stay wise to that. And of course, as long as I have this channel, that's exactly what I plan on doing. Now, this next clip here is probably my favorite. You're not going to believe this, but there's going to be a young lady here telling you she is afraid she's going to be labeled or woke up as a slave. I kid you not. Here we go. Well, let me turn the volume on for this, and then you can hear it better. But so some of these are kind of shocking, so you've been warned.
We may not have rights tomorrow.
I'm scared of
Here
going
it
to
is.
sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
Did you guys catch that? I cannot sleep. I might wake up tomorrow as an MF slave. Where do these kids get this nonsense? What is going on? Absolutely insane. Oh, this guy's having a stroke.
I don't know how to do this. Right now, I'm just not. I can't fucking deal with this shit right now.
Oh, goodness.
I am 48 years old, and I have never experienced anything like this, and never thought I would in this.
Talk about having a complete meltdown. In case you couldn't hear that, she says, I'm 48 years old. So she's a 48-year-old woman, and this is how she acts during an election loss.
Country. No, wait. I'm so stressed. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to get through the next couple days.
Oh, these poor people. Please, folks, chill out. It's going to be okay. Donald Trump's going to take good care of you. I promise you. Just relax and try not to panic too much. Let's listen one more time to this girl. This is my favorite. Remember, she thinks tomorrow she's afraid she's going to wake up as a slave.
Yo, I'm scared of going to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
Oh, sweetheart, you poor thing. That's just terrible. I mean, it's funny, but it's sad, right? I mean, it is. It's. I don't know what else to tell you. It's disgraceful. Again, who is indoctrinating these kids like this? Who is telling these people these lies that this is going to happen? They're not taught that we have three different, distinct, co-equal branches of government. Make no mistake about it. If you had someone like Kamala Harris in the presidency, obviously a socialist at a minimum, I could think of more serious words to label her with. There still is a balance of power that our founding fathers put in our Constitution. They obviously had the hand of God, his blessings on them when they formed our wonderful Constitution. And really, I mean, these people, as American Anna has just told us, are extremely unstable. And Rosemarie Friera, we always appreciate having you in our audience. Thanks for joining us here today. And American Anna, you are right. These people are absolutely cringeworthy, unstable, unbelievable. Okay, so this is from Arizona Pollster. Give this to your fellow lib. It's time to start the healing. This is pretty cute. Let's listen to it together.
Be okay.
I hope that you enjoy it. Here we go. This is supposed to help you if you're having
Things sometimes don't work out for a reason, and the reason is that you screwed up. Everything is going to be okay. Eventually, you will be dead and won't have to deal with any of this shit. Stop living in the past. You hated your life back then, too. You will get through this, and you don't really have a choice. Be proud of how much you have accomplished.
Be proud.
Nobody ever expected much from you. Whenever someone asks how you are, just make up a lie. Like, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
No one wants to hear about your problems. Don't let
That is terrible.
anyone make you feel bad about yourself. That's your job. And nobody does it better than you.
Oh, brutal, brutal. Hey, you know what? Sometimes that's what people need to hear. Sometimes you need to show them just how silly, irrational they're acting. And sometimes that's the proper antidote. It's kind of like what you do for a child. When a child is throwing a temper tantrum, you just kind of sit there and look at them. Like you stare at them. I'll give you a quick story from my past. I remember like when I was 5 years old, I was actually in the hospital for an appendix issue, right? Well, anyway, I'm sitting in the hospital and I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I remember this story. So I'm in the hospital and I'm sitting there and I guess I wanted my parents, whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm throwing a temper tantrum and whatever. This woman walks out of this room because they had like this glass window there, I guess, to be able to watch me as I'm there. But anyway, she comes out and starts just looking at me, just watching me, kind of like I was in a zoo and I was the exhibit. And I remember what was my reaction. You know, obviously it was just her using psychology to get me to calm down. And that's exactly what it did. She kept just watching me throw this fit. And I'm like, well, this is odd. I think I'll just behave myself. And that's exactly what I did. So it worked. And obviously I would think that that's what this type of video is trying to perform as a tall man. Here's another reaction. His head explodes. We got President Trump right there. It's part of the firework display. Yeah, and of course, our newly minted president-elect is happy to see that. Now, this guy here, I watch him. I believe this is the Young Turks. Yeah, it is the Young Turks. And this guy is definitely a liberal. Don't make any mistake about it. This guy is a lib, big time. But sometimes he makes sense. I like to hear his opinion sometimes, and I do watch this channel. I think it's called The Young Turks, if you're interested in checking it out. But let's listen to him for a few minutes because he kind of tells you how it is, at least from his perspective. And his reaction, let's just say it's interesting. Let's take a quick peek at it.
These Democratic leaders are simpletons. They're servants of the donor class. So they go in there like, oh, donor, give me money, please. And I made an ad. I'm Kamala Harris. I'm full of joy. Okay, well, what did that get you? And they say, oh, Jake, you're too angry. Too angry? What? You think, does Donald Trump look like he's kind? Does he look like he's in a good mood? I mean, no, people want some sort of reaction from their politicians. They want them to represent them, to fight for them. But that has never occurred to a Democrat outside of Bernie Sanders, and probably we never will. So look, I have no interest in listening to a single Democratic politician ever again.
Incidentally, speaking of Bernie Sanders, if we get time, I want to show you this press release that he made, and he comes out slamming his own party. Remember, this is crazy, nutty Bernie Sanders, and he lets his own party have it. It's interesting, and I think that's what he's referring to.
They can go kiss my ass. They can do whatever they want, and we never listen to them anyway, and they hate us because we're right, and they're wrong. They're always wrong, and they hate us for being right, okay? So, but they're not gonna learn. You have to beat them in a primary. That's your only hope. And so if you say it's super hard to beat them in a primary because of the lying sons of bitches on mainstream media who will smear you to no end, who will fight harder against progressives and populists than Republicans or Donald Trump or anyone else, well, brothers and sisters, nobody said life was fair.
That's right.
So we gotta go fight that mainstream media. We gotta destroy that mainstream media that is filled with lies on top of lies about how the politicians are so.
Or it could be, my friend, that you are woke and loony and your ideas are just simply so far out there. And finally, the American population has stood up and said enough. We're not going to take this nonsense. And by the way, have you noticed, my friends out there, that when a liberal gets mad and excited, boy, they really start dropping the F-bombs, don't they? Or some of the other cuss words. It's just an interesting take. So anyway, here's another one I think is kind of cute. It says, you guys worked hard for this. As a reward, here is liberal tears 2024 copulation. So let's take a quick peek at this. This will probably be cute.
I hate you, you fucking orange pumpkin. You just caused me one of the most.
By the way, once again, I want to apologize for some of the cuss words on here. Like I said, we're all adults, but I generally don't like to broadcast anything profane. Not that it hurts my ears, but I just generally steer away from this. But these people obviously are in a state of being irate. They're mad. They're losing it. And that kind of adds to the humor.
Most important people in my life, my dad. Donald Trump, I hate you. You will
Ouch.
never
She's
be
dancing.
president again.
They don't get that they voted for someone who's gonna make my friends' lives hell. My life's okay. I'm a white woman, but my friends are not gonna be.
Folks, if you have an idea, I'm going to let this play as we're watching these people have a meltdown. I'm curious. Put in the comments and let me know. I'm curious as to what your take is. What is going on? We're going to watch a video with this fat guy here in a minute. It's pretty funny. But what's going on with these people? What's the matter with these people? I mean, people lose elections all the time. I mean, you can't sit around just having a conniption because you didn't get your way. At least where you're just absolutely despondent like these people are. I clearly think this is proof, in my opinion, of clear indoctrination of our kids. I really don't see how it could be anything else other than that. These kids are lied to. They're indoctrinated at a school level. And listen, y'all that have been with my channel for a while know I have 7 natural children and I have 2 foster kids that I have raised. I consider them all my kids. I love them all very much. But I got to tell you, they all don't think like I think. They don't see the world the way I see it. And that is fine by me. But they don't act like this when they don't get their way. I can assure you of that. I mean, I want everybody to have their own opinion. And that's how I raised my own kids. But these kids have clearly been lied to and indoctrinated. And I realize, especially the colleges nowadays, they have this healthy dose of just effectively indoctrinating our youth. And I really don't think there's any other way to say it than that. So this is a short clip that I think you'll find funny.
I hate him! I hate this dumbass who can't shut his little pie-hole asshole! Hate him! I hate this dumbass who can't shut his little pie-hole asshole! Hate him!
Oh my goodness, that woman, look at that face. This is an older lady, obviously. And if she continues to act like that, that's how you have a stroke. That's how you have some type of physical breakdown with your body. There's no way is that healthy. What is going on with these people? They are just nuts. All right, another liberal meltdown with the side of an Adam's apple. I guess this individual is
He'll just be
transition
celebrating.
person. I don't know.
The thing to me is that if this guy does end up winning again, all of the people who voted for him will be like happy and he'll just be celebrating. And everyone else, everyone who feels threatened by him is fucking scared. Like we're scared for our lives. We're scared.
I can't handle her no more. That's just that's too much. But I mean, listen, the internet's filled with these. It doesn't take long to find these on X if that's what you're looking for. This one here is the left is losing it over Trump winning. Yeah, and I would say that is clearly an understatement. But let's hear what this gentleman has to say. He's not too happy either. But
Donald
let's
Trump
listen.
is now our 47th president of the United States of America. This election was not even close, which I find odd considering Kamala Harris's rallies. However, how can that compete when you have Elon Musk paying $1 million per day to encourage people to vote for Donald Trump?
It's funny how this guy
Personally,
here is complaining that Elon Musk spending $1 million a day to help Donald Trump, but what he doesn't either know or doesn't say, and this is obviously taken from some TikTok account, but the point is this: you have Kamala Harris. She was given between $1 and $2 billion, depending on what source you look up. At least $1 billion she had at her disposal to spend on ads. She may have had a shorter run as far as how long this actual presidential primary, or I should say this presidential season kicked off. I mean, she didn't go through the primary, right? There was that coup with Joe Biden, but to her benefit, she was able to effectively take over what he already had set up. So when he says stuff like this, that you have Donald Trump with an unfair advantage, what do they call that?
I'm
Sour
disgusted
grapes?
by that. I'm disgusted enough to delete my X account. I'm disgusted enough to
Yeah, I'm sure.
never order a Tesla as long as I shall live.
Saying this is how I'm gonna let this play out. But this is how the left thinks. If they don't like you, if they're mad at you, they don't get their way. Well, we're going to boycott Tesla. The new thing on the X platform is I'm going to delete my X account, and that's what he just said.
America is no longer the land of the free. You have chosen, by siding with Donald Trump, to throw our United States Constitution and our United States flag in the garbage. Personally, I am embarrassed. I am ashamed to call myself an American. In fact, I no longer call myself an American.
Oh, I no longer
Well,
call myself an American. What a great example. And folks, if you get mad and you have a bad day, a bad moment, don't put it on the internet. It's going to be on there forever. And this poor young guy, he just made this video, and at some point he's going to live to regret this, but he's saying, I'm not proud to be an American. What is up with this? I'm not proud to be an American. Well, I'll tell you what, my friend, get off your happy backside and move to Mexico, move overseas. Don't let anything hit you in the butt. Keep in the air. Get moving. Adios, amigo. I think you'd have a change of opinion pretty quickly. So here's another TikTok that is hilarious. Let's take a peek at it here. Poor woman. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Sorry about the drama there. Goodness. Someone give this poor woman a Xanax. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think you get the idea on that. We'll pause. I can't handle that screaming myself. These people, I mean, when I first started to see these videos, I thought they had to be fake. There's no way anybody's going to sit around and just scream into their camera. But you know how people are. It says 2024. So disappointed.
Knowing that I woke up. Bitch, just not about a fucking book. Fuck that shit right now. Knowing that I went to bed. Yeah.
Calm down, sweetie.
That fucking man was ahead a little bit. But waking up to this man, literally, you're 4 points a fucking way. Not only shows me how racist, which, hello, wake up, you black, you're aware of that. It not only shows me how racist this country is, misogynistic. Y'all.
Misogynistic? Oh, sweetie.
We're at the point where I'm convinced y'all do not want to get ahead. Y'all had y'all glory fucking days in the back. Y'all hate to see a black, a Latino, anybody that's in LGBTQ plus, a woman.
All right, I got to pause it right here. Misogynistic, huh? She's sitting there in the kitchen complaining. Well, sweetheart, why don't you take a second, make me a sandwich real quick? Oh, I'm sorry. That was misogynistic. I apologize. That poor girl. I mean, come on. This is terrible. We have a constitution, friends. We have elections every 2 to 4 years, presidents every 4 years. This is the way it goes. It's going to be okay. Relax.
Be doing shit on her fucking own. Because to wake up and seeing it being that close, and I'm seeing comments where people are like, I'm in another country. I don't know how this is happening. Wake up! This is fucking America, and this is sad. And every fucking body.
Oh, okay. I think we get the idea with her. And she's got her name on the bottom of the screen here. What is the matter with these people? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Oh, this guy here is funny. Okay, so I'm assuming this is his wife or girlfriend or whatever that's sitting around complaining. He's not very, well, I would say he's all right, but she is mad. You see, he's got his Trump hat on, and she's pretty PO'd. And look at his face expressions as she is on a tirade. It's kind of humorous. I think it's hilarious, but tell me what you think.
So I'll just shut the fuck up.
Oh, goodness.
Shut the fuck up for good now.
Oh, let me turn that down just a bit. So she's cussing, she's screaming, she's having a tirade, and he's like, oh, yeah. Sure, honey. Okay. Okay, no problem. I'm sorry, dear. I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. Okay, now here's the big fat guy. This is funny. Now, this guy, I did some background checking on this. This guy has his own podcast, and you see he's got a White Dudes for Harris on. I guarantee you this is hilarious. This was live. This was during the podcast, and he was not happy. And of course, if you haven't seen this clip, it has went viral. Tell me what you think about it. Let's take a look at it together.
I can't believe Trump's actually going to win this fucking thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so pissed off. Fuck.
no.
Fuck. Fuck. God damn it. I can't believe Trump's
Oh, I'm sorry about these people. Their favorite word is the F word when they don't get their way during an election. That is just absolutely terrible. So, well, I don't know.
What am I gonna do,
These people are definitely nuts. Here we go on another one.
I'm literally shaking right now. I'm a trans woman with a baby on the way. What am I gonna do? Keep it.
This guy's he's just making a joke. He says, I'm a trans woman with a baby on the way. What am I going to do? He's just making fun of all the nonsense that's going on out there. These people are definitely not happy, ladies and gentlemen. They are just going berserk. It is what it is, right? Okay, so here is CBS's Margaret Brennan was not happy that Americans voted for Trump because they didn't understand how great the economy was. Again, you have another one of these elites saying, these Americans, you voters out there, you just didn't understand that this economy is great and you people made the wrong choice. Again, just more
because they're hiking up more,
trying to tell us what we
any
should
country I
believe
have ever
or what we
covered-
should vote or who we should vote for. Just a bunch of nonsense, but this is what come out of her pie hole
Anywhere
today.
in the world, people vote on the 3 feet in front of them and the kitchen table they sit down at every day. And the economic issues are just so fundamental, and the experience of that. And, Nora, you said earlier, maybe we overfocused on grocery prices. I think, Donald Trump campaigns saying he's going to lower the price of bacon. The president of the United States has nothing to do with the price of bacon.
Or eggs, for that matter.
Or eggs, or any of it. But it's
Or
promising.
gas.
I get you're uncomfortable, even
I don't know if y'all can hear that clear now, but she's like, the president of the United States has nothing to do with bacon or gas or anything else. And of course, that's just another lie. It was the Biden Harris administration that effectively made it very difficult to drill for oil on leased lands. And I know how it is. Some of the libs out there will say, oh, we've been producing a ton more than we ever have. Well, that's true, but those are on leases that were already granted under the last Donald Trump administration. Going forward, they have regulated it so much to where they effectively have not released any new lands for drilling for oil. We're talking about the federal lands. And as you know, the Keystone Pipeline was one of the first things that the Harris-Biden administration stopped. They had everything ready to go. The permits, you name it. They were going to take all those oil sands all the way from Canada down to Texas. We were going to have even more oil. They stopped that. I mean, remember, we were a net exporter of energy. And yes, when energy is cheap, gas is cheap, delivery costs go down, electricity for manufacturing, whatever, when it's cheap, that is something will definitely reduce inflation. Full stop. So when you hear them say it has no effect, they're just lying.
though the head of the Federal Reserve and those guys, you don't quite know what they do back in Washington, but they're making your house more expensive because they're hiking.
Yeah, again, this is elitists telling us we're stupid. You don't know what they're doing in Washington with the Federal Reserve. You people are stupid. This is the same type of nonsense that got them in this hole that they're in right now, my friends.
You don't get that. You don't get the national number where Joe Biden is telling you, look, inflation is moderating and coming down, but you understand your grocery cart or your gas tank. And that personal experience just seems to be what at least people are using to justify their vote for Donald Trump when they're citing the economy.
Well, that's because the economy, as has been said for many, many years now. Who is it? James Carville. He said way back when he was working with Bill Clinton back in 1992, we all know what it is. It's the economy, stupid. Full stop. It's the economy, stupid. And that's what it is. People vote their pocketbooks. And I think it's really that simple. And when you've seen a figure of, what was it, 70, 73%, 75% of the American population said we're on the wrong track, folks, that is not a good statistic for if an incumbent president or an incumbent administration is going to be reelected. I mean, it's really just that simple, and they shouldn't be surprised that that's what happens. So, you know, it is what it is, right? Let's take a quick peek at this here. I'm going to listen to a little bit. They're making fun of this screaming just like an elephant. And she said, well, I'm crying in the bathroom. Oh, you really didn't want a woman to be president? Oh, poor dear people. You're going to have such a rough life ahead of you. Oh, my goodness. Okay, this woman has a full-fledged freak out. We're going to turn the volume down. Oh, no. I'm turning it down so you don't have to listen to that scream. Oh, goodness. All right. That's enough of that. Sorry, sweetheart. We're moving on. This is another liberal having a meltdown.
I can't do this anymore. I'm literally sick. I'm literally sick to my stomach.
This is
what
while
has
she's watching
happened
the
to
election.
America? What has happened to democracy? What has happened to freedom? I'm done.
Oh, my goodness.
This is a message
Oh,
to anyone
sugar.
who follows me. If you voted for Trump, unfollow me and block me. If you didn't vote, unfollow me and block me. The
Oh,
fact that
goodness.
it's this close.
So she's saying that, you know, basically she's an influencer or whatever she thinks she is. And she's saying if you voted for Trump, hit the unfollow button. If you didn't vote, she doesn't want you to
Means I've
follow
lost
her either.
all
And just for the record, I don't care who you voted for. You're welcome to follow me. It's not a problem.
hope in the American people. Like, it should not be this close. Why would anyone
Yeah,
vote
it
for
should
this
be this
person?
close.
He's so evil.
Oh, these poor
so
kids. This man's evil. These kids, where do they get this stuff from? I realize these people are adults, ladies and gentlemen, but let's be honest about it. You know, I love this little Taylor Swift thing right here. Well, Taylor Swift was wrong about a guy again. I love it. I love it. And for the record, I generally have always liked Taylor Swift, or at least I like her music. And during this election process, I made myself not listen to anything that was a Taylor Swift song. You can ask my girlfriend. If Taylor Swift came on, I hit the forward button or the skip button or whatever. And it's hilarious because if you're a Swiftie, you know that everybody likes to talk about, well, I should say she likes to talk about and sing about her boyfriends and her ex-boyfriends. And she was wrong about a guy again. How about that? So,
I'll be serious. How did I wake up to this garbage as my president? That's right, garbage. I went to bed last night and she was ahead. I woke up to this freaking nightmare. Donald Trump? How? Does America have this many
what is this guy wearing?
Nazi,
Or not?
Hitler following pieces of trash?
Oh, goodness.
I thought America was already great. Kamala had our economy.
Well, it's greater
skyrocketing.
again. It's greater now, my friend. Oh my goodness. This is cute with Donald Trump. Someone said my pronouns, you know how Kamala Harris is, my pronouns are she, her, whatever. Donald Trump here says in this parody, my pronouns are your F word president. Love it. Love it.
I have been studying Kamala's charts.
All right, here we
For
go.
the astrology girlies, I just want to know, I have been studying Kamala's charts, and it looks like she is not only
She's an
going to
astrology
win, but
girl.
she is going to be winning a second term. The next 8 years in her chart look really, really strong.
So Trump has officially won Pennsylvania.
Did you notice the beginning of this is her talking about her astrology chart? She's like, you know, it looks really good for Kamala. Everything's going great. And then, of course, the second part of this is after she realizes Donald Trump is going to win, she's got her wine. She's sipping on it. She's not talking about astrology anymore.
And I think it's over for us, you guys. I'm fucking terrified. Okay, so I was wrong. A lot of astrologers were wrong. A lot of us were wrong. But if you think that right now is the time to
She
tell
keeps
me
getting
that you don't
angry.
believe in astrology, who gives a fuck about astrology right now?
Remember, at first, she's talking about astrology, what a great thing it is, how it bodes well for Kamala Harris. And then you see how she ends with this video right here. She's not a
Like, we're just
happy
This is
Kamala
all
follower.
great. Like,
Like
Oh,
we're just
sugar.
gonna wake up tomorrow morning and everything's gonna go back
Gonna
to
be
the way,
back to the way it
it'll be a
was.
psych.
Oh.
It'll be like a really bad dream, and none of this will
Oh,
ever
sugar, I'm sorry. It's not a dream, honey, but it's going to be okay.
happen, right? Like it'll be like the first time, and then we're all gonna pull through fine in 4 years. Correct? Please,
Oh.
someone.
Oh, you poor thing. I can't take it. What is going on? I did see this next clip this morning. I was actually going through the channels and I remember seeing this clip on the Morning Joe, and we just love the Morning Joe, right? I heard someone say that it's no longer the Morning Joe, it's the Morning Joe, as in like they're going to a funeral.
Misogyny
morning.
from black men.
So what they're
just
saying here is that essentially Donald Trump was elected because of basically racism from Latino men. I kid you not. Hear this for yourself. They're saying Latino men are basically racist, but don't take my word for it. Let's hear it right from the Reverend's
say
mouth.
really quickly too. Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest, and they need to say yes. There's.
Oh, and we know that Joe is known for his honesty and for being clear with everybody, right?
Misogyny, but it's not just misogyny from white men. It's misogyny from Hispanic men. Right. It's misogyny from black men. Things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. You know, the Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, white people don't like women and black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before. A lot of Hispanic voters have
Let's hear the good
problems
word, Reverend.
with
Shut
black
up, man.
candidates.
Right.
A lot
and
of
with other Hispanics. You got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on this Get Out the Vote tour came from black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely.
It's just crazy what they say. And I don't know about you. I'm so tired of hearing about what they call these identity politics, Latinos versus blacks versus whites. I'm so sick of it. And this is one of the reasons why I think there was such a huge Trump victory, is that a lot of us were just sick of being put into a box and everybody being divided against each other. The fact is, we are all brothers and sisters in Christ. This race nonsense is man-made. There is no race other than the human race. And that's just the way it is. And we need to, we just need to call it for what it is and point it out. Joy Behar and them on The View, you know, they're losing their marbles today. This was hilarious.
Been able to do one thing.
They were definitely in what you call mourning, but let's take a listen to this.
Well, it would help if we could regulate social media, because one of the biggest offenders is DC and Congress have not been able to do one thing in regard to the rogue corporate.
Remember, this is what we've been talking about, this misinformation, this rogue X platform, Elon Musk, whatever. We must do something to put a stop to this terrible, terrible platform known as X. They're grasping at anything and everything they can to blame it as the reason why they had such a terrible
It's not going to get any better with Elon Musk now in the administration. I want to think critically.
Well, it would help if we could regulate social media, because one of the biggest offenders is DC and Congress have not been able to do one thing in regard to the rogue corporations
It's
of
not going to
social
get any
media.
better with Elon Musk now in the administration. I want to think critically.
It's just insane what these women on The View. I don't even know why I listen to it, to be honest. I think it humors me, but whatever. And here is Sweetness, the Attorney General.
We've created contingency.
I can only stomach a few seconds of her, but this is what she said today after all this has come out, showing what a great victory Donald Trump has had, and of course she's coming out to give her support to Donald Trump and to his new administration.
So here we are. We've studied their platforms. We've identified certain possibilities, fact patterns. We've created contingency plans. So no matter what the next administration throws at us, we're ready. We're ready to respond to their attacks.
Isn't that shameful? In the United States of America, you can have a sitting attorney general effectively using state resources and the power of her position to go after an individual that she doesn't like, an individual that she campaigned that I'm going to get that person, that if you elect me, I promise you I'll get this man, I'll get his companies, I'll get his children. And that's what she has done. And there's just something sick, something wrong with that. And we should all do everything we can to put a stop to that. And hopefully Donald Trump is on the road to putting a stop to that, because let's be honest about it, that is just unconscionable and inappropriate. Now, this guy right here, he's going to take CNN to task. This is from today, and he's going to tell us directly exactly why Donald Trump had such a huge victory.
This is a mandate. He's won the national popular vote for the first time for a Republican, for the first time since 2004. This is a big deal. This isn't backing into the office.
It's a big deal.
This is a mandate to do what you said you were going to do.
Now, remember, this is on CNN. Look at Van Jones and was this Anderson Cooper and these other individuals here looking at him. They're all but gagging. Like, I can't believe he's saying this on CNN, but he's speaking, I guess you call it speaking truth to power.
Get the economy working again for regular working class Americans, fix immigration, try to get crime under control, try to reduce the chaos in the world. This is a mandate from the American people to do that. I think I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just the regular old working class American.
That's exactly right. The revenge of the working class American. And that's exactly what I was mentioning early, that Bernie Sanders, and, you know, I am not a advocate or a supporter of Bernie Sanders by any stretch of the imagination. But even Bernie Sanders is saying what this guy just said, and that is the Democratic Party lost their way because they have forgotten the working people of the United States. They think we should listen to Beyonce or listen to the Hollywood celebrities or Bruce Springsteen or whoever they put up there. And by the way, did you notice, Beyonce is going to be here. They implied there's going to be a concert. They have people show up to see her perform. She doesn't perform, and they start leaving. Again, another Democrat bait and switch. It's just unconscionable, all this nonsense that the Democrats seem to just never understand. Now, listen, I want to go to the comments here, and then I want to actually I want to look at this one video, and then we're gonna move over to the comments here, because have you guys noticed these? Well, I don't know what you'd call them, but you got these. I don't know if they're what you'd call them, fortune tellers, prognosticators. But remember this one guy? His name was Littman or something. Let me pull up that video, because this guy, they call him the professor, who has correctly predicted 9 of the 10 elections. And I purposely made sure that I followed this particular guy because I was so sick of seeing him on TV and all these news shows or whatever you want to call it, saying, I know who's going to be the next president. Something about he's got the 7 keys, and if these keys are for a particular candidate, they're going to win or whatever. This guy is a complete idiot. And what I'm doing right now is just exposing him for the fraud that he is. So if you ever wonder if these people can truly predict the future or predict what's going to happen, I'm going to answer your question for you right now as we listen to this.
2000, he argues he actually got right since Al Gore beat George W. Bush in the...
Yeah, so he's been, this is like from a day or two ago, and he says, I've been right 9 out of 10 times. He even argues that it's 10 out of 10 times because Al Gore should have actually been the president and not George W. Bush. It would come down to a Supreme Court decision. So you have all these elections on the left-hand side here that he says he was correct on, and the one that in his mind he's questionably wrong on. So basically this guy is saying, in reality, I have a 10 out of 10 record. But let's see. Let's see if he keeps that record.
How does Lichtman make his predictions?
Lichtman,
Well, he says we should follow his 13 keys to the White House.
13
they
keys.
include
That's what I'm
things
just
like
talking about.
incumbency and third-party candidates, state of the economy, and social unrest. If 6 or more go against the party in the White House, its candidate will lose. Fewer than 6, its candidate will win. So what are the keys saying today? Let's bring in Alan
Simple enough,
Lichtman
right?
to talk all about it. Professor
There's
Lichtman,
that smiling
look, your keys
prodigy.
are pointing toward Kamala Harris. Has anything happened in the last few weeks that makes you feel more confident in your prediction?
Nothing has changed. And by the way, I didn't say I was right in 2000 because of the popular vote. I said I predicted the right president based on the intent of the voters in Florida, as I proved in my 2001 report to the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. But
yeah, these people always brag about being right. But what I'm showing you right here is these people are
in
frauds.
politics is the so-called October surprise. I've always issued my predictions before then and never changed them. In 2016, for example, we had the biggest October surprise. Donald Trump on tape bragging about sexually assaulting women, and a lot of women coming out and saying,
yeah, he doesn't sound like he has a political agenda, does he? You know, he said Donald Trump coming out and bragging about sexually assaulting women. Obviously, this guy is a political hack. He's trying to disguise himself as some type of prognosticator, being able to tell the future. This guy is a hack. And the reason I'm sharing this with you right now is I purposely saved this video because I wanted to see if he was right or not, because I wanted to make sure that I put it on the internet. This guy's a hack. So next time he shows up in 4 years,
that to me, even
we know he's a
Republicans
charlatan.
were saying he was finished. I did not change.
Yeah, so at any rate, the gist of this video is he's a great man. He's real smart. He is predicting that Kamala Harris will win this election. And as you probably know by now, he was wrong. Too bad, right? So I digress. I don't want to get stuck in that. So let's go ahead and let's check out some of these comments here. Oh, time always flies when we're having fun. I got a lot of comments here. Let me go through these real quick here. All righty. So I appreciate everybody being here as always. Thanks for your questions and your comments and your support for my channel. I definitely appreciate it. American Anna, you're always welcome to be here. Zach, my friend, good to see you. Yep, life is over. Boo-hoo. This is terrible. Some of those are to elicit views. Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think they're trying to give views. That it could be a certain percentage. Those are staged just to try to get maybe, you know, have people like me talk about them. So I don't know. It is called godless and no adult reason. Yeah, it's really shocking. Some of these people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a perfect person. I haven't been perfect my entire life. Man, I would never act like that. I mean, I'm sure I've done some stupid things in my life, but the problem for these kids now is it's on the internet and it's there forever and it's not going to go away. And these kids really have to think about these stupid videos they take of themselves and put them online. Zach's, everyone should have a Nana like that. Exactly. That is what the leftist news media does to these people. They scare them. Yeah, I think you're exactly right, American Nana. All right, one-way international ticket for Tuesday. Yeah, get them out of here. If they don't like this country, get them out of here. Out of there. I totally agree with you. Some of these are probably faked. Yes, Rosemarie, thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you in our viewing audience. All right, I made an apple pie and it's still warm. Oh, you shouldn't tell me that. Now I'm thinking of apple pie. You're going to have to mail me a piece of that. That sounds delicious. Zach, they present their opinions so well. Yes. Top surgery gone bad. Yeah, I'm sure. All right. It's very clear these nuts have no clue how the government works. Yeah, obviously. And it's a shame, too. They should have really paid more attention during civics class or government class, whatever they call it now. Stocks went up automatically. Yeah, the stock market is on fire. Gold is going down. People are feeling good again. Sanity has come back to the United States. Camilla has Venn diagram. That's right. That's right. She likes those Venn diagrams. I forgot about that. They need to quiet. They need to quit already. Yes, absolutely. And hello out there to everybody. I can't see other comments unless I get out of live chat. I don't know what's going on there, my friend. I will tell you, I have had some issues with StreamYard. They, to their credit, they're always trying to innovate and make things, we know where it has more options. It's a great program. I love the StreamYard software I use, but I will tell you occasionally it doesn't reflect all the viewers we have. It on the X platform, sometimes it will definitely show a lot lower amount of viewers, and I know there's a ton more people on there. And I know that because when I get out of a particular session, I'll go straight over to the X platform and make sure everything is doing what it should be doing. And I'll notice that there's several hundred views there. So I know that the count's not right. And same thing with YouTube, the platform. Like we got 12 people in there right now on YouTube, and it bounced up to 19 on another platform. It goes up and down. I mean, occasionally they're going to have issues like that. So don't worry about it, Zach. Sometimes you're just going to have a little hiccups like that. It's funny how our power hour goes so quickly. Let me make sure, because I thought I had one more thing I just had to tell you guys about, because there's so much to talk about, and I'm so proud of President Trump and his campaign and what he has done for us. I will tell you this too. I think Zelensky, and maybe we'll talk about this tomorrow, has really messed up. Obviously, we have President-elect Trump tonight. And remember Zelensky going to this ammo factory. Let me show you this real quick. He was, let's see, the screen share. Sometimes my brain will only let me do one thing at a time. And to be honest with you, sometimes I can't even do that correct. So, you know how that goes. But anyway, take a look at this quick screen share here. Here we go. All right. He made a bad decision, in my humble opinion. And the bad decision that he made is that while this campaign was going on in support of Kamala and Joe Biden, he stops by in the United States. And where does he visit? He visits a ammo factory in the great state of Pennsylvania. This idiot could have went to Alabama, or I think there's one in Georgia. I mean, there's ammo factories all over the United States, but he goes to the one in Pennsylvania, which is the key state, as we've talked about many times on this channel. Governor Shapiro, that's who he's shaking hands with right there. And there he is shaking hands with him again. Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky is visiting the United States. So he goes.
The city, your city from Scranton, from Pennsylvania.
And his victory claim. They can call it what they want, but here he is touring this particular factory in Pennsylvania. And folks, let's be honest about it. President Donald Trump has a long memory. He's not going to be very happy when he thinks back to what this Zelensky did. He essentially was given a wink endorsement to Kamala Harris. Obviously, that is bad. That's a bad decision for any leader of any country to do that. Generally, a leader of whatever country tries to walk in the middle because you just don't know who's going to be the party in power. And even if the party that you don't particularly like is not in power now, they may be in power in 4 years or 8 years or whatever. So generally you just want to walk this diplomatic tightrope, if you will. And of course he broke that rule, and that can be very, very costly to Zelensky, because I have a feeling Donald Trump is going to put a stop to this, because I don't know what they're smoking over there, but you have a country like Russia that has the largest fleet of nuclear weapons in the entire world, and you think they're going to lose? I mean, that's just not going to happen. The territory that they have now is their territory. I really don't see any other way about it, and I don't have time to get off on that tangent, but remember, Ukraine's been part of Russia for a very long time. I'm not an expert in Russian history, but it's equivalent as if the great state of Texas broke away from the United States for 30 years. They were their own independent country. And then imagine Russia wanting to be best friends with the country of Texas. And then they decide, oh, we're going to make you part of the Warsaw Pact. You're going to be part of our military alliance. I guarantee you the United States would say, hell no, no way, no how, no sir. And then we would have the reverse situation going on right now. It's the expansion of NATO that caused all this crap to begin with. And before I get any hate mail, I just want to tell you, y'all all know I love America. I'm a patriot. I bleed red, white, and blue. I love America, period. But that doesn't mean we always make the right decisions as far as our politicians are concerned. And I think y'all all know that about me. I've stated that many times. So, and welcome to Lester. Appreciate having you on the program. Yes, I'm glad everybody got out and voted. Y'all should all pat yourself on the back for getting out, voting, and doing your part to make Donald Trump the next president of the United States. And folks, we all need to pray for President Trump and his family. Obviously, he's a very wealthy man. He's a very prosperous man, but we all need prayer. We need to pray for him, pray for our country. Frankly, we need to pray for healing. We need to pray for the woke so they can see the light, or at least it's okay to be divided, but we just need to come together and work because we have bigger fish to fry, if you understand exactly what I'm saying. So at any rate, I do appreciate everybody being with me today, whether you're watching live or you watch this later. If you have any comments, please put it in the comments. I try to answer all comments. If you subscribe to the channel, I answer your comments first, and I guarantee that I will respond as soon as I am able to do so. God bless you, your family. May God's special anointing be on each and every one of you. I do appreciate your time today, and hopefully we'll be back to visit soon together. I always say, my friends, keep your mind free, never give up. Until next time, I am J.R. Dukes.